Hello friends, welcome to engineering tutorial. So we'll continue our discussion related to material science and engineering. Previously we discussed the basic concepts related to stress and strain in materials. In this video we are going to establish a relationship between stress and strain. That is basically cause and effect. The relationship between cause and effect. Stress is the cause, strain is the effect. What is the relationship between the two? So before that, we will quickly review some previous concepts which are important, which is elastic and plastic behavior of solid. So elastic behavior is that in which a body undergoing deformation or change in the shape and size on the application of an external force quickly regains or returns back to its original shape and size after the deforming force is removed. Whereas plastic behavior is that in which the deformation is permanent. That is, after the removal of the deforming force, the body does not return back to its original shape and size. Okay, so elasticity is the returning back of the body to its original shape after undergoing change in its shape and size, whether it is increase in length, breadth, height, compression or expansion, or bending, or whatever it is. So it returns back to its original shape and size. So why it is important? Because the elastic limit of the material is very important when it comes to establishing a relationship between stress and strain. Stress is the application, when a force is applied on an object per unit area, the internal reaction force which is generated in response to that is called as stress. Okay, the internal reaction force per unit area. Both the external force, the external acting force and the internal reaction force, they are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. So this formula of stress, which is the applied force by area or the reaction force, the internal reaction force by area, they are the same. Whether we write it in this way or this way, it is the same, which is equal to sigma, which is equal to force by area, F by A. So there are different types of stress: tensile, compressional, tangential, and bulk or volume stress. Strain is the effect of stress, which is the change in the dimension of the object, whether it is length, volume, or bending, which is measured in terms of angle. So strain is change in any dimension to the original dimension, change in any parameter to the original parameter, whether it is length, whether it is volume, whether it is angle, bending angle, all that. So that is measured in terms of strain. So whether it is longitudinal strain, volumetric strain, shear strain. Now comes the concept of elastic limit. Let us try to understand it. Let's say we have a rubber band or any kind of bands which is elastic, which is stretchable. Let's say we apply force, a certain force F1 on both sides. We try to stretch it. So the rubber band gets stretched in response to this force, the externally applied force. Now once the force is removed, the rubber band returns back to its original shape and size, original length. So here the rubber band is elastic, and under the response or the action of this deforming force, the rubber band returned back to its original shape and size. Okay. Now let's say we increase the applied force. Okay. We increase the applied force F2. Okay, the rubber band gets stretched. Now when the force is removed, the rubber band does not return back to its original length, the original shape and size, and it remains permanently deformed. The change in length is permanent. So this is called as plastic behavior. So elastic limit is the maximum force that can be applied to a material such that it returns back to its original shape and size. The maximum stress, okay, the maximum force acting per unit area which the material can withstand, which it can endure without undergoing permanent deformation. Okay, so the maximum force which a material can withstand without undergoing permanent deformation. Without undergoing permanent deformation means it returns back to its original shape and size. Once the deformation remains permanent at a particular force, we increase it just little by little in order to determine the elastic limit of a material. In testing laboratories, stress is increased gradually, just little by little it is increased, and the response of that force to the material in terms of change in dimension is measured. Once the deformation gets permanent at that particular stress is noted as the elastic limit of that material. Okay, so elastic limit is the maximum stress with which a body can withstand or endure and completely regain its original shape and size without undergoing permanent deformation. So this can be explained in another way also by a string of a certain length with which a weight or a box, a mass is attached to it. So gradually the weight of the box or the that is increased and the deformation is noted. In the first case, the string returned back to its original length after the box is removed, whereas in the second case, when the mass is increased or weight is increased, the deformation becomes permanent. So the maximum weight of the box which the string can withstand and returns back to its original length without undergoing deformation, that is called as the elastic limit. Okay, now once the stress goes beyond the elastic limit, deformation becomes permanent. The body cannot regain its original shape and size. So now comes the turn of Hooke's law. Basically, it gives us a relationship between stress applied and the resultant strain produced in the body within the elastic limit. Within the elastic limit means without undergoing permanent deformation. It means there is no permanent deformation. When the stress it remains within the elastic limit, the body does not undergo any permanent deformation and always returns back to its original shape and size. So Hooke's law basically states that within the elastic limit, okay, within the elastic limit, the stress applied on a body is directly proportional to the strain produced. That is, stress is directly proportional to strain. Sigma is directly proportional to epsilon. Okay, so the ratio of stress to strain, that is, gives us a constant of proportionality. Now this constant, it is called as modulus of elasticity or coefficient of elasticity. Why elasticity? Because the body is always remaining within the elastic limit. We are trying to measure the elastic behavior of the material. So this behavior of the material within the elastic limit in terms of stress and strain, that is called as Hooke's law. Stress is directly proportional to strain within the elastic limit of the material. Again, the elastic limit of different materials, it is different. Okay, it has different way and is always given in the a specification sheet. When we purchase a particular material for experimental purposes, it is always written, it is always mentioned. Also, the stress by strain constant, which is the constant of proportionality, the modulus of elasticity, that is also different for different materials. It depends on the nature of the material and the manner of deformation. So the unit of this constant of proportionality, that is same as stress, Newton per meter square, because strain has no unit. Okay, Strain is change in length by original length or change in dimension by original dimension. Both have same unit, so they cancel out each other. Strain has no units. So modulus of elasticity has the same unit as stress, that is Newton per meter square. Okay, so if we try to plot the stress and strain relationship, which is the direct proportional relationship, it will be like this. Okay, where we draw xy axis with stress on the x-axis, strain in the y-axis. It will be a straight line with a certain slope, constant slope, passing through the origin. Now, as I said, the stress and strain constant of proportionality, that is different for different materials. So the graph or the plot for different materials for stress and strain, it will be different. In some cases the slope will be like this, in some cases it will be like this, in some cases it will be like this, but always it is done within the elastic limit of the material. Okay, so here different types of modulus of elasticity is there, because we have different types of stress strain relationship, where we have tensile and compressional stress, which is longitudinal stress. Then we have bulk stress or volume stress and bulk strain, volume strain. Then we have tangential stress and tangential strain. So for different behavior, whether it is length or volume or angle, bending angle, the modulus of elasticity is different, that constant is different. So we have Young's modulus of elasticity for length, bulk modulus of elasticity for volume, and shear or rigidity modulus for angle, the bending angle. So we'll discuss them one by one in separate videos. So here the important concept of this video is the Hooke's law, the stress and strain relationship within the elastic limit. So within the elastic limit, applied stress on a body is directly proportional to strain produced. Okay, stress is directly proportional to strain, and stress by strain, that is, gives us a constant of proportionality, which is the modulus of elasticity or coefficient of elasticity. And this is the plot with different slopes for different materials. Okay, so this is that.